It's the Foul Territory post-game show presented by the Fox One app. Go sign up. What just happened? That is the face of Orion Kerkering, Erik Kratz, and Phillies fans across the globe. Erik, you're catching Orion Kerkering. That happens. You jog out to him and you say,
I'm not
you
jogging
got to
out
say
to it.
something and you got to be quick. Otherwise, the dude's going to melt onto the ground.
I mean, we're walking off together and I'm going to put my arm around him and be like, you know what? You're still a great person. Like, you don't even.
No.
I don't have anything. Like,
I'm terrible.
I am physically, like, I have like a sick feeling in my chest. Like, did he not know how many outs there were? Did he not? I don't, Scott, I am speechless right now.
It's a way to end a ball game. And on the Dodgers side, they're ecstatic. They don't have to go back to Philadelphia. This was a brilliantly pitched game. Contact was made by Andy Pages. Kike Hernandez walked. Max Muncy looped a single up the middle. There was action, right? Tommy Edman with a knock. Kim replaced him as a pinch runner. Plenty of action here in the home 11th. Orion Kerkering choked.
I'm still dealing.
It happened.
It happened. It happened. And it happened because the Dodgers just kept having deep at-bats. They just didn't, I'm not going to say they didn't give in. Like, Luzardo was so nasty. Like, to give up a hit to Max Muncy in that situation. Max was hitting like 150-something or 160-something against lefties this year. Like, a down year against lefties for Max with not a lot of power. Gets a ball through there. Bringing Orion Kerkering in, to me, is the play. And Kike put together an unbelievable at-bat, took ball 4, something that, you know what, maybe earlier in the game, maybe the shadows would have gotten in the way, but it's all set up. It's okay. Like, it's totally fine. The base is open. Even when before Max stole second, or defensive indifference, you had the base open. So you didn't have to give in to Kike. Pages has struggled bus this series. And you get the ball back to you, and he threw it home. He threw it home. And now they're going home.
Yeah, that's it. And, of course, you're going to look at this one play. It doesn't mean that the Dodgers wouldn't have walked off the Phillies anyway. I mean, this was fantastic pitching. Tyler Glasnow had it going. Rōki Sasaki is him in the postseason. He is the postseason X factor right now for the Dodgers, the guy that comes out of the blue and makes massive, massive impact. 2 saves earlier in the series, and then 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Incredible work from him, 3 scoreless innings. And all they needed to do was stay afloat, give the offense a chance to do a number of things that the Dodgers offense can do. They can make contact. They can take walks. They can slug and smash a ball out of the ballpark. All of these things are possible. And in this situation, contact was made. They were able to get on base. They forced, well, I don't know if you want to say forced a mistake, but a mistake was made. That doesn't happen necessarily with a strikeout, right? And we see plenty of that in today's game. And the Dodgers have battle-tested guys. Battle-tested. That's what you're describing. Kike Hernandez in the regular season is not the same as postseason Kike. Like you said with Muncy, lefties weren't his thing this year. They're platooning him. He's starting against right-handed pitching. But he's been in these spots so often. So many of their guys have. And to me, Kratz, it's not just the experience they have in these spots. I think the Dodgers have the ability, and I think they're smart enough to figure out which guys should be in these key moments, both from a roster construction perspective and from a managing perspective with Dave Roberts. Do you agree with that? Where it's like, hey, this guy shines in the big moment, and so I'm going to have him on my roster. I mean, they loved Tommy Edman for years, and he's been a huge part of what they're doing the last couple of years. And then Doc Roberts pushes the right buttons. So I'm giving a ton of credit to LA here. The pitching plus just enough to pull off a dub.
When you're talking about games like this, like games that come down to a fluke play or something, be like, oh, they're so lucky. People who aren't around a game are like, oh, they're so lucky. Like it was just a brain fart by a young kid. But they're in this situation. They are constantly in these situations because of the things that you mentioned, because of, at the core of it, because of communication. I know Max Muncy did not come to the ballpark in game one and go, what? I'm not playing? He came on our show and he said, whatever it takes. I don't care if I don't get a single hit in the entire postseason. If we win, that's all that matters. And I think these guys believe it. Did that will or want to win create the air from Orion Kerkering? No. Is that something that is it's completely outside of what happens? It's a result. Baseball is all about the preparation, the execution, and the result just happens. I mean, Bohm, I think, hit a rocket line drive with Harper on first to center field. Maybe somebody slips. Maybe the ball gets down. Great preparation, great execution, hit the ball hard, result wasn't out. Everything Orion Kerkering did right there, you didn't let Kike beat you. Pages is the guy that you want to go after, and it didn't happen. The result wasn't great. It's tough, but it's also the fact that the Dodgers are built, I don't want to say built for the postseason because they're good in the regular season, but they are built to make a run and win the World Series. And every series from last year till now that they keep winning, they gain more experience, more confidence that they're never out of it. And it's going to take a massive, massive series by either the Cubs or the Brewers, whoever they end up facing, to dethrone the Dodgers right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Dodgers have resources. They spend a lot of money. You're going to hear the complainers there. The Mets spent a lot of money. They didn't make the playoffs. The Yankees spent a lot of money. They're bounced. I want to focus on what happened here in this game, too, earlier. So the Phillies, from what I recall, had one defensive miscue back in I believe it was the third, or maybe a little bit deeper than that, when Bohm let a ball get through. Yeah, on Ohtani, right? Back in the bottom of the third, didn't end up hurting him. There are at least 5 defensive plays by Philadelphia that you circle in this one and go, wow, that's A+ defense by Philly. Man. Like they're here. They know what's at stake. Kepler diving catch, Trea Turner diving catch. Just, I mean, a number of plays. I think probably 3 plays that stand out with Trea, who made some fantastic plays. Yeah. There was the double play turned by Bohm over to Stott to Harper, right? Yep. And Harper made a nice scoop. Bohm made a great play extending. He does some things that not many third basemen can do because he's so long. And we've seen that in this series. But in the end, the defense does bite them. And we're seeing the replays and the screenshots of JT Realmuto immediately pointing over to first for Kerkering. Is that what you do? So give me the catcher's perspective, right? Ball goes back to your pitcher, and there are 2 outs. You've got plenty of time. He could have jogged halfway over there and underhand tossed it.
I just yell, take your time, step and throw. Step and throw. I'm never like, you're good. Because it's like, I'm good. What? I can take it easy. I can do something I never do. No, take your time, step and throw. Step and throw. It's no panic. Just like when they hit a ball to the right side. Every time you yell, get over. Like it's what's said. I'm sure he said, you see JT, oh man. I'm not sure what his thought process was. Like we're ready to go in and we're ready to hit again. We're ready to try to turn the lineup over and get Schwarber and Harper up. And he yoinched it home.
Yeah. I guess I should say if he fields it cleanly, he has time. He did bobble, so then it starts to get a little bit hectic, but still enough time.
But that's why you say step and throw. That's why you say step and throw, because Pages, his credit, busted it down the line. You never know as soon as it's bobbled like that. But he did a great job. He reached down with his bare hand to pick it up, set your feet, step and throw. I don't want to see you I don't want to see you like try to gunsling it from underneath. You still have him. You have plenty of time.
For the Phillies, they ran into a buzzsaw that is traditional starting pitching. What a concept. And the Phillies have it too, right? This was really fun to watch in this series because there's so much good starting pitching. Phillies, of course, are missing Zach Wheeler. Dodgers are able to throw out a 1-4 that is disgusting. But for me, what stands out in 3 out of the 4 games is the big 3 not doing enough, whether it's good pitching or not. I mean, at least figure out a way to get on base. I know it's really good pitching, but in this series, they had a great game 3. I'm talking about Trea Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper. But here again, in game 4, not much. I believe we got the numbers in 1 for 14, 4 strikeouts. I mean, those are the guys that carry the team the whole year. And they haven't done that too much in the last couple seasons in the playoffs. And it could turn into the last dance for some that are part of the mix here. You would think they're going to try and make sure that they keep Kyle Schwarber. I would think Castellanos will probably head somewhere else. And he had a huge knock for this team. And I don't even think he would have been starting if Bader was healthy. But the team's going to look a little different next year, Kratz. There's been a lot of disappointment. Philly fans are going to be beyond distraught. You can give me the Philly perspective here and what it's going to sound like on the radio tomorrow and the talk shows and the post game on TV, the whole deal, right? And how Philly fans are feeling when they look at their roster and see one of the best teams in baseball all year long, a dominant home team that was not winning home games just now in the postseason, and a very early exit. I mean, they saw 2 home playoff games this year after everything that they went through during the regular season. And at the trade deadline, they pick up a guy like Duran. Also, Harrison Bader, who was great for them and was hobbled in this series. But let's go to Duran first, and then we can go bigger picture with the Phillies. So anything on the decision-making side in this game that bothered you? Duran comes in at the perfect time. We know that. You got to nail down a save. Then they walk Shohei Ohtani intentionally, who has struggled mightily in this series. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done that, right? Because if Ohtani does something, you go, oh, he had 2 homers against him. Why didn't they just intentionally walk him? But your thoughts on that sequence?
I go profile right there. I don't go 1 for 18 with 9 strikeouts. Shohei Volpe was struggling. But Charlie Manuel will say, water levels out. Every time you see a new guy, every time you are a big league player with confidence, you think the next time is when I'm going to get out of this slump. You cannot let the profile of Duran's, now if he can run that 4-seamer, up above the zone, away, you're fine because up and in, Shohei can turn on it. But it's when he runs that sinker or that splinker, that splitter sinker, that kind of runs into Shohei's path, and he's able to do a lot of damage to it. I love the move. I do. The guy had walked 3 guys in 24 innings as a Philly. Never in his career, I think, or maybe this season. I said it confidently, and now I'm not as confident. Had he ever walked a runner with the bases loaded? I like the move. I thought he had a great at-bat. I thought Mookie had a great at-bat, and he laid off some really tough pitches at the top of the zone. Credit to Mookie. I thought it was a great play there. Maybe they could have kept with Duran a little bit longer, but that's super hindsight, and then you're never getting to Kerkering. But Duran did everything he could do, in my opinion. But that inning doesn't happen unless the umpire boxes strike 3 to, now I'm forgetting who. Alex Call, I think.
Alex Call, yes.
Ended up
and it was close. It was close. Let's not act like this was egregious.
No.
It was close.
But it was a strike.
Yeah.
We won't have close
It's a strike,
anymore.
and in a big game like this, you would think you have a challenge left in a spot like that.
Yep. JT's definitely, you saw him turn around. That run ended up scoring. Walks will kill you. And that one got it.
Mm-hmm.
Here
it is. Yeah. It's a strike. I get it. It's a strike.
Just like Kerkering didn't lose the game, the umpire didn't lose the game. This was as good a series without it going to game 5 as I thought it was going to be. Like these are two really close teams, and I know the Dodgers came out 3-1. The Phillies had a lead in every single game. The Dodgers came back and won every single game that they were behind. The Dodgers were winning, and they lost the one game that they were in the lead. So it was such a great series. And just like, I'm not sure who that was, it was just up there. It said this was the World Series. To me, the Dodgers are the favorite to win it.
Yep. And I think they'll have a tough test with whoever comes out of the other side. I
don't think the Cubs match up very well.
No, I don't think they do either. I think the Brewers match up better. I still think the Dodgers would take them down. I think on the American League side, Toronto and Seattle look pretty good. Detroit, for me, is a step down, but you got the Scooble factor. They got themselves to a Game 5. We'll get to all of that. And I want to get to the Dodgers rolling forward. But to close the book on the Phillies, which I'm sure we'll do much more of on tomorrow's Foul Territory episode, which begins live at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Thoughts on how Phillies fans are going to react? I didn't get that part of the equation from you yet.
Cut them all. Tomorrow, Monday after, it's going to be cut every one of them. I mean, I see people just throwing entire rosters out there. They're like, yeah, I don't see him bringing Turner back. I don't see him bringing Braun back. And it's like, whoa, okay. First of all, these guys are signed for a long time. But it's going to be who's to blame. Well, I blame Rob Thompson for calling that bunt. How are you going to call that bunt? It's like Rob Thompson told Kyle Schwarber to bunt. It was a tough lefty matchup against a pitcher that gets a lot of fly balls and strikeouts. They're going to say, Dombrowski, cut him. How did we not get Kyle Tucker? How were we not even in on the Corbett? Like, you got to replace Zach Wheeler somehow. This is what's going to happen. It's going to be fire. Like, let's put it this way. Nick Castellanos had two of the biggest hits this entire postseason. One of the schmucks on the radio that I listen to, the channel I listen to, he goes, I'm done with this guy. Did you hear his comments? We pay money to go to these Phillies games, and he's going to say these things. Nick Castellanos has been nothing but a pro in the sense that he'll say what's on his mind. That's what you want from athletes. And then he's backed it up, even when he's not been out on the field all the time. He's backed up. He's had huge hits the last two postseasons.
You're right. He does come up clutch for them. And all he did was point out that place can be the best nirvana ever, or it can be a hellhole for the home team because of how crazy it gets. It is. Naveed said it comes down to lefty pitching against the Dodgers. Do the Cubs or the Brewers have it? I mean, the Cubs have some left-handed starting pitching. I don't think it's necessarily going to throttle them.
Because you got to shut down Shohei? Because you got to shut down Freddie? Like, you can say that about anything. I mean, the Dodgers lineup is stacked. It comes down to whichever staff has the best ability to make pitches, because the Dodgers don't go out of their zone. And so if you're making pitches like the Phillies did this series, you got them. You can you can hang with the Dodgers. And I think the Brewers lineup can put together such amazing at-bats against the Dodgers starting rotation. Kind of like a little Cam Schlittler from last night. The Brewers just aren't going to punch out 9 times in 6 innings like the Phillies did. The Brewers are going to put the ball in play and move guys around, give them big at-bats, and maybe make the Dodgers go in deeper into their bullpen to actual bullpen guys and not just starters. And we also got to remember they need all their starters now for a 7-game series. So you can't go to all your starters in the bullpen like you have this series. So it'll be interesting. I think it's got to be the Brewers would have the best chance, but I still think the Dodgers are ahead of them right now, and because they've won this huge series, and I think it's theirs to win. I think these are the 2 best teams in the National League.
Oh, the Dodgers starting pitching matched up against either the Cubs or the Brewers. It's not close. It's not close at all.
Starting pitching to starting pitching? No. I'm
Yes.
saying Dodgers starting pitchers versus the Brewers lineup. The
No, I
Brewers
know.
can, the Brewers
I'm,
can put together good at bats.
I'm just saying, Kratz. Let's go with Milwaukee, right? I mean, Freddie Peralta is a bona fide top end starter.
Yeah.
And I know he had a hiccup here, in the beginning of the game that's ongoing right now. But look at game 2 of their postseason. They were already in bullpen game mode. I'm not saying that's bad, but look what the Dodgers throw out there for 4 games. And I know it wasn't the best night for Yamamoto, but he's shown a lot of good all season long. And I do not want to face him in another postseason matchup. So this team is peaking at the right time, Kratz. They had won, I believe it was 9 in a row heading into the game 3 loss. They were 4-0 so far in the postseason. They got their tune-up against the Reds, like you mentioned. And yes, James, they found their closer. Where would they be without Rōki Sasaki right now? Maybe in the same spot, but maybe not. And it's going to be even more important as we go forward. And let's look at this game. I mean, he wasn't just your closer. He gave you 9 outs. 9 outs.
Yeah. And honestly, I get it. In the last inning, he started to throw a few more balls. It didn't look like they had any answer. They were behind on the heater. He would paint a heater. He'd throw a splitter out or a fork ball out of the zone, and then whatever pitch he needed to finish that guy with. It was usually heaters later on in his outing, but the question was, is he going to throw enough strikes? And he was like, yes, because nobody can hit me. I'm just going to pound the zone with everything. Maybe take a chase pitch here or there, and then go right to pounding the zone again. He has settled in, and there is that new split setup that he has in the stretch. It's impressive. Like this is Dodgers development all over it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he instantly has become one of the best closers in the sport, stuff-wise and length-wise. And credit to Tyler Glasnow, too. He hadn't started a game in 12 days. He had appeared, obviously, earlier in game 1 for an inning and 2/3. But in this one, 6 shutout innings, 2 hits, 3 walks. That's what you have to watch with him sometimes. 3 walks, doable. 8 strikeouts, 83 pitches. Fastball velocity was up from the regular season. You might have wanted another inning out of Tyler. He's gone through a lot of injuries over the last couple seasons. He didn't pitch in the playoffs last year for this team. Remember, this was his first postseason start with the Dodgers. Gets moved over to LA, signs the big extension, and he's perfect for the Dodgers. Why? Because he might not ever go 30 starts again in his career. But man, he's a number 1. When he's starting and he's feeling good, he's a number 1, right? If you have a do or die game and you're down to Glasnow, you feel incredible. And that's what's special about him. So I know there are plenty of Dodger fans that have gotten after him sometimes. He's on our show pretty frequently, but the dude's talented as hell. He is such a tough at-bat. So credit to him, too. I mean, he matched up against the current number 1 starter for the Phillies, who's going to finish number 2 in Cy Young, and they went toe-to-toe.
Glasnow he has ace stuff and will always be a number 1. Because he's on the Dodgers, they're never going to let him be an ace. And that's okay. Anything starts barking, they're like, hey, you know what? Game 75 of the season, we're going to give you 35 to 40 games off. You come back, we'll build you up. You're a beast in the postseason because you have electric stuff from 6'8" that a fastball that cuts, a four-seamer that stays straight, started mixing in that sinker every once in a while. The slider this year was really devastating, and today he used it just to keep him because the curveball is not always in the zone. He is the quintessential get the most out of somebody when you're in a certain organization. And that organization, obviously the Rays, they were doing it. The Pirates were like, no way we can get that much out of you. The Rays were like, we'll get value out of you. And then the Dodgers said, we'll pay you while we get value out of you.
Boom, exactly. Okay, question on the Phillies side from, we're going to bring it up. Runner on second. Does Rob Thompson get fired?
No. Should he? I'm terrible at knowing if a guy is going to get fired. Should he? No, he should not. He shouldn't. This is not what did he do? Was it a fireable offense? Did he not put his team in a good position to play? Did he not handle the Nick Castellanos stuff very well? Did he have his number one starter going into the season? Was his bullpen not stacked enough? Like, to me, I think his moves, they're going to be questioned because they lost, but I don't think he made any fireable offenses. Now, behind the scenes, if there's stuff that, hey, you know what, we got to have guys that are, getting in line, certain things that could happen, but this organization to me is a very well-oiled machine. They're running so well. If anything, somebody gets fired, it might be Long. Kevin Long might move to another organization, and whoever gets him, it'll be 29 other teams lining up because he's probably one of the best hitting coaches, but somebody has to pay the price for the hitters not being able to make an adjustment. Is that his fault? No, because he gets these guys going. But in my opinion, if I were to guess, that's probably the route they're going to go, and I wholeheartedly disagree with it.
Yeah, the last 4 years, World Series appearance, great. CS appearance, and then the last 2 seasons with expectations sky high for this team and tons of names in that lineup. National League Division Series knocked out. And much of that is credit to the Dodgers this year, the Mets last year, but stars got to be stars, got to show up. We didn't have a big Bryce Harper moment either for the Phillies. The thing that I do think will happen is Dave Dombrowski will be forced to shake things up more with the offense. Clearly, this offense is not bringing it in the postseason right now. So it'll be painful. And it was talked about a little last year. Nothing really changed with the offense. I think they'll try to do a little bit more. It's not easy because a lot of the, you've got certain guys that are tied up for a long period of time. Like you mentioned, Trea Turner's there for a while. Bryce Harper's there for a while. Obviously those guys aren't moving, but Schwarber's a free agent. Maybe they don't bring him back. Castellanos, I said earlier, I think was a free agent. He's got one more year left, but maybe they eat some money and trade him. So things will happen with the Phillies. Just throwing
Nick
that
was
out
almost
there.
Nick was almost gone this year. From what I heard, it was Bohm and Nick Castellanos for Kyle Tucker. Similar to what the Astros did, with Isaac Paredes and Cam Smith. And there was also, a prospect worked in there. So would you have had that extra left-handed bat in the order? But if you go parallel seasons, I get it. I mean, Tucker had a much better season than Nick Castellanos. I'm not trying to compare that. I'm saying Kyle Tucker, what he's done in the postseason right now, would he have done? You can only have a parallel season. All of a sudden, he wouldn't just get put in the Phillies lineup and be like, well, you know what? I'm healthy. I'm doing all this stuff. He would have been a great pickup, but I see them pursuing him. I really do. I see them pursuing Kyle Tucker. Can you add another 10 to 13-year contract onto the books? Because they're going to have Ranger Suarez money. I think they're going to probably pick up Jose Alvarado's contract, which he has an option. So they're going to, that'll bolster that bullpen. You got Alvarado and Duran coming in at the end. Kerkering's back and still really good. I think Strom still has a little bit. He has 1 year left, but don't quote me on that. But then you have $20 million from Schwarber, $20 million from Nick coming off. I think.
No, Nick's got 1 more year. I thought we said.
No, I think that's it.
Oh, you think that's it? Okay. JT Realmuto is a free agent, by the way, after this season. So that comes off. Ranger Suarez comes off.
So it's like $75 million. Are you willing to put that $75 million into another starting pitcher? Is Andrew Painter ready? Are you willing to put it into a bat and JT Realmuto? Because if not, you got big questions that you have to go find a catcher. And I think if JT wants to take a 2 or 3 year deal, he comes back. He's still very serviceable, above average catcher back there. Plays all the time. Caught the most innings of any catcher in baseball this year, or maybe all National League, I think. But anyway,
yeah, he's up there. He's up there.
You have flexibility. You have flexibility to change it. How you change it, I don't know.
By the way, Castellanos does have another $20 million. He does, confirmed. So
he has one more
for 1 more year.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, they They could deal him if,
Then he's
there's issues there. That could happen. Okay.
yep.
Let's finish with a couple Dodgers question marks heading into the next round. Number one, and a fan asked this, what do you do with Clayton Kershaw?
Man, I don't have the cojones to say Kersh isn't on the roster.
You don't have it? I do. I did it last year halfway through the season when Verlander didn't have it. He actually was better down the stretch this year, but last year I was like, he doesn't have it. That's not a playoff pitcher.
I'm still putting him on there,
and
and
tough.
I'm still putting him on there.
Dude. Okay.
And he had 3.35 this year for the season. It's not apples to apples. The Verlander to Kershaw thing's not apples to apples. The Phillies, they got him. But he also shouldn't have gone back out there. Had the score been different, I think they come and get Kershaw. But he helped the boys in that situation, and it may have actually helped them tonight, helped the Dodgers tonight. So I'm leaving him on. I don't think they have that many options. Look at what else they have in that bullpen, and you're going to need length. I think he stays on.
Okay. Tanner Scott's off. I mean, now he's out for the next round here. And I mean, I know most Dodger fans don't want to see him the rest of this season anyway, and they hope that he just resets and comes back and figures things out for 2026. Not going to get into what happened. We don't know much details yet, obviously. I mean, jokes were made online. It's a medical thing, though. I don't know what happened. It could be serious. So anyway, we're not going to get into that right now until we know what happened. But Tanner Scott will not be part of the playoff roster. Justin Robleski can give you some moments and at least be, a depth guy out of the bullpen for them. And he replaced Scott. So he's there. Starting pitching. Ohtani was going to go game 5. That does not mean that he needs to go game 1. They've got a plan. They like him with an off day afterward. Do you do that? He had a rough series. I'm not concerned. But do you go Snell game 1, Ohtani game 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I think Snell's their biggest workhorse of everybody. And if you can get Snell game 1, 5, and possibly something out of the pen in 7, I'm not saying they need that. I'm saying he has the ability to do that. And Shohei's hitting, as much as I'll say his hitting definitely declines after he pitches, the stats say that. That's my opinion. Setting him up in game 2 and he gets the day off is monstrous. And the reason he was 1 for 19 is because some kind of stat about guys who have an arm angle lower than 35 degrees, he struggles with. So if you bring a lefty in with an arm angle that's above 35 degrees, he rakes it. So the Phillies deployed a great matchup against him.
And we're going to talk a lot more about what happened here and the Dodgers moving forward and who they'll be facing, the whole deal, okay? On Foul Territory, 1 o'clock Eastern time, every single weekday. Also, we appreciate those that were watching the post-game show here. We've done a few. We kind of bounce around selecting different games and matchups. We'll do more of that. I think the next one that we'll do is the Sunday night ALCS, but we'll do a number of ALCS and NLCS post-game shows. We'll do most of, if not all of the World Series for post-game shows. So if you're with us right now and you want more from Kratz, myself, and other guests like AJ Przinsky, Kevin Pillar, other guys that'll join us here for these post-game shows right afterward, this is the spot. So thanks for joining us. Shout out to Fox One for being our presenting sponsor this month for our Foul Territory shows and our post-game shows. We've got a 7-day free trial for you if you hit that QR code and go over to Fox One on that app. And tomorrow there's a game 5 on the Fox One app. If you don't have Fox on your TV or anywhere else, you can still get it by going to the new Fox One app, and you can watch game 5 of the Mariners and the Tigers. If you're a Dodgers fan right now and you want to see who you might match up against in the World Series, that one could be for you. So thanks everyone for checking out this post-game show. What a game. Congratulations to the Dodgers for making it to the CS. Dodgers territory is there for you to check out. Are they still going, or did they just finish up? Someone will tell me. But the Philly show will be there for therapy for the Philly fans that are with us right now that need more. It is the best in the biz, covering the Philadelphia Phillies, leading the charge in downloads. It's Ruben, It's Todd Zalecki. It's Jim Salisbury. They'll have a fresh episode tomorrow morning. And yes, Dodgers territory, which brings in all the VIP guests and is live after every single post-game show or every single postseason game, just finished up. So you can enjoy more of that Dodger victory. If you're a Dodger fan right now or just want to get the perspective from them, you can go back and watch that one on demand on YouTube. Good stuff, Kratz. We'll see you for the 1 o'clock East Coast time. Foul territory.
Let's get it.